It is now time to continue on with the 2025-26 season previews today, and we have the San Jose Sharks. We're in a little bit of a retro Sharks jersey here. This is from one of their early seasons back in the early 90s. But regardless, the San Jose Sharks are definitely a team that is not very good. They are in the stages of their rebuild, but things are getting better, so let's discuss. The 2025-26 season previews are in full swing, and we are talking about all 32 teams and previewing their upcoming seasons. We have now done Anaheim to Pittsburgh throughout the alphabetical order, so if you want to check those out, be sure to do so in the card up here. But regardless, we move into the San Jose Sharks, where the Sharks have put together some pretty rough seasons, I must say. Especially they've kind of regressed downward over the last few years, but now you're starting to see them get a little bit better here. So in 2022-23, which is where we're going to go back to, the first year of the Mike Grier era, the Sharks went 22, 44, and 16 for 60 points. They were 29th in the NHL that year. They missed the playoffs, obviously. That was just another rough year. That was the year where Erik Karlsson won the Norris Trophy. And if it weren't for him, San Jose probably would have been down where Anaheim was. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. That was the year where Karlsson scored, I think it was around like 107 points or something like that. Like, he had an unbelievable season for him. And obviously, it didn't really amount to much. That offseason, though, they draft Will Smith. They trade away Erik Karlsson. They move away some other pieces as well. And it sets up to be an absolutely terrible 2023-24 season where they went 19, 54, and 9 for 47 points. They were 32nd in the NHL. You'll hear that again in this video at some point. They were the worst team in the NHL by far. They just weren't good. There were some AHL teams that could have beaten the Sharks team. That's what people were saying. So that's something you can take with what you will there. But regardless, in 2024-25, San Jose would go 20, 50, and 12 for 52 points. They were 32nd in the NHL. That was after they drafted Macklin Celebrini. They bring those guys in alongside Will Smith, William Eklund, and for once, San Jose actually looked kind of entertaining. Now, they weren't good, but they were kind of entertaining. You could watch the Sharks and watch the team and be like, yeah, that'll be a fun roster in the future. And I believe that this coming year could be even better. First and foremost, you look at the management here for the San Jose Sharks. You have Mike Grier, who has been the general manager since 2022-23. Mike Grier has made some incredible moves as the general manager. He has done some phenomenal work for the San Jose Sharks. It's been awesome what he's been able to put together and get done here for San Jose. So there is that. He has been absolutely incredible, making some phenomenal trades, making great draft selections, some good signings as well. Everything this guy has done, everything he touches honestly turns to gold. Like, almost everything he's done has been phenomenal. And then Ryan Warsofsky is the head coach. He has been the head coach since 2024-25. He is a former minor league coach. He won with the Chicago Wolves in the AHL. Warsofsky is known for teaching the youth and developing young players, so I expect for that to continue here heading into 2025-26. But overall, this management is for a pretty bad team, but it's one of the managements where I honestly trust more than some playoff teams. You look at your key arrivals and key departures lists, and it is the longest lists of anything we've looked at so far for any team. So starting off here with your key arrivals, and bear with me here, you have Jeff Skinner, Philip Kurashev, Adam Gaudette, Ryan Reeves, Dmitry Orlov, John Klingberg, Nick Leddy, Alex Nedeljkovic, and Jacob Skarek are the guys that the San Jose Sharks acquired. So whenever you're a team that's not very good, you do tend to acquire a lot of different players from around the National Hockey League. So Jeff Skinner, will be interesting. Again, he was with Edmonton last year. He did play playoff games for them. I thought he was okay. He decided that playoffs were too scary, and when he wanted to go to another bad team, so he's off to San Jose. But I think Skinner, playing alongside some of this youth, not only will he mentor them, but I do believe that he will be able to kind of maybe get back to what he was, maybe score a 25, 30-goal season. Not impossible if he's playing with the right players. Kurashev is one of the players who just could not work out for the life of him in Chicago. Just wasn't able to get to the potential that Chicago wanted him to. As a result, he is no longer there. He is with this young team in San Jose. Adam Gaudette had a career season last year for the Ottawa Senators, and we're going to see if that's going to replicate itself here. He has proven that he is an NHLer and not just a fringe guy at this point, so he will be playing consistent minutes, probably top 6 minutes with the San Jose Sharks if things do go right. And then obviously, too, you have Ryan Reeves, who will be a deft player who will fight a ton. He'll be a fighter. He'll defend those young guys, so that's obviously something fun there as well. The blue line with the guys adding Orlov, Klingberg, and Leddy is shaping up to be an absolutely brutal blue line. And I'm sorry to say that. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but it is not looking very good. Orlov struggled last year against the Kings, against the Panthers with the Hurricanes, not the Kings. Klingberg was with, I think he was with the Oilers for a little bit. He signed midway through the season. Wasn't really that big of a role player for them, so we'll see how he does with San Jose. And then Nedeljkovic probably will be the backup to Yaroslav Askarov, and then the same thing can be said for Skarek. He will be the third-string goaltender, but for a team like San Jose, Skarek will play games. Next up, then, you look at your departures list for San Jose, and it's not as long of a list, but it is still pretty long of a list. You have Mark-Edward Vlasic, Alex Georgiev, Jan Rutta, Klim Kostin, Nikolai Kovalenko, Noah Gregor, and Henry Thrun are the guys who are no longer on the San Jose Sharks. So Mark-Edward Vlasic is a long-time Shark. He is no longer with the team anymore. They bought him out, and I agree with it. Like, his contract was just not ideal, and he was more of a liability than he was of an asset, even on a bad team, so I get why they did buy him out there. Alex Georgiev, just not a good goalie. Had some rough years with San Jose, or a rough patch of a year with San Jose, being traded there from Colorado, even on a really bad team like San Jose. They were starting their third string over Georgiev. That's how bad it got with San Jose. Jan Rutta, not a bad defenseman, but just I don't think he wanted to be there anymore, to be honest with you. Klim Kostin, Kovalenko, and Gregor, more or less just kind of the same players, honestly. I thought Kovalenko would work out here, but there were some reports that Kovalenko wasn't really working well with Warsofsky, and then obviously that took a turn, so obviously there's that. And then Henry Thrun is actually one of my guys who I personally like. He is off to Toronto. They traded him away for Ryan Reeves. I think he'll be a good acquisition for Toronto, but obviously these key departures are really not that big of guys. They're not that big in terms of value. So then you take a look at the 2025-26 depth chart for the San Jose Sharks, and this depth chart was made by the Hockey News, so then that way I don't miss anybody or do something stupid. You start off here on your left wing side. You have William Eklund, Jeff Skinner, Barclay Goodrow, Carl Grundstrom, and Ryan Reeves are the 5 guys on that left wing side. So Eklund is phenomenal. Great top 6 upside. He was signed to a contract this offseason, and I looked at that contract and I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. So overall, I think that was a great re-signing there by San Jose, and by the time he's done with that contract, he will be able to get paid some more money. So that's the plus there too with the player side. Skinner, again, as I said, maybe if he plays around the right players here with the Sharks, he could rejuvenate himself and maybe score 25, 30 goals. And who knows, if he does play really well, it's not out of the question that they can move him at the trade deadline. I know that sounds like delusion to any other fan in the league who wants Jeff Skinner, but regardless, it's not impossible. Goodrow, good third-line forward. It does suck that he's here with the Sharks and not on a playoff team, but he just doesn't have what he used to have back with Tampa Bay and the Rangers. Grundstrom, fourth liner, honestly, and then Ryan Reeves will be the fighter. He will defend these young kids. That's more or less what he's here for, to be honest with you. Now, the center core I have some disagreements with. You have Macklin Celebrini, Alex Wenberg, Philip Kurashev, Zach Ostapchuk rounding out your first four. Then you have Colin White as your fifth-line center there. So, my disagreement before I get into the players, I think Michael Misa will make this team. I think Michael Misa will make this team because he signed his entry-level contract with the San Jose Sharks. So that's telling me that, like, yeah, he's probably going to make this team. And honestly, like, even if he doesn't, he probably will play a 9-game stint with the San Jose Sharks to see if he's ready. But to be honest with you, I really do believe he is ready. But going through these guys, you have Celebrini, first overall pick, had a great rookie season. The only questions you're asking yourself now is what are we going to expect out of him in year 2? That could be something fun to look at here throughout the year. Wenberg, second-line center. I don't know if I really agree with him being the second-line center. Again, if Misa does make this team, that could obviously play a factor in there as well. You have Kurashev, who can hopefully kind of steer the ship in the right way in terms of his career in San Jose. And then Ostapchuk, a guy I'm a big fan of there. He's a good fourth-liner, hard worker. He can be a fighter as well. Could be a fun guy here on this roster next season. And then Colin White is a depth forward at this point in his career. On your right wing side, you have Tyler Toffoli, Will Smith, Adam Gaudette, Ty Dellandrea, and Colin Graff are the 5 guys on your right wing side. So Toffoli, Eklund, and Celebrini line was great. That was absolutely incredible last year. So I expect for that to continue again this year. Toffoli put up some good numbers, and he's also married to somebody here local in San Jose. You have Will Smith as well. I thought he had a good rookie season, too. He did have his points where he looked a little bit slow, but I think that's expected with a kid at his age, and he's not like Macklin Celebrini where he's like a world-changing player right away. It's going to take a little bit. I think this year, though, you could see some real improvement with his game. Not that he was bad last year, but I think he's only going to get better. And then you have Gaudette, again, as I said, career year last year in Ottawa. Could be a good third liner here for Ottawa. Score a couple more goals, get them maybe 1 or 2 more wins. Dellandrea, good fourth liner, and then Colin Graff, I think should be on this team. That kid is pretty generational and pretty exciting to watch. Not generational, but pretty exciting to watch in general. Has that good skill. So overall, that's what I think about that. But their forward core, you got your mix of young and exciting players, but then the rest of it is just kind of guys you expect. It's more or less just like bottom sixers, even in your top 6. So above all, I think that you have your young guys here to follow, like Eklund, Celebrini, Smith, Toffoli, and then obviously if like Misa makes this team, he's there as well. But above all, I'm not expecting for this forward core to be that great outside of the first line and a half, I guess. Looking at your defensive core now for the Sharks, and this is just absolutely atrocious. I am so sorry to say this is not a good blue line. You look at your left shot side, you have Mario Ferraro, Dmitry Orlov, and Shakir Mukhamadullin as your 3 guys there on that left shot side. Yeah, not good. Not good. Not a fan of this blue line. Not a fan of this side. Ferraro is a character. And I think that he's probably the best defenseman now on this Sharks roster, with Jake Wallman no longer being there. Good defensive strides to his game, but again, he is on a very bad team. So, like, his defensive numbers aren't that great, but probably the best defenseman on this roster. Orlov struggled last year with the Hurricanes. I can only imagine what San Jose is going to do to him. Mukhamadullin as well. Not a bad, like, third, maybe second pairing defenseman. Overall, solid defensive numbers. Your right shot side is interesting. John Klingberg, Nick Leddy, Jack Thompson rounding out your first 3. Then you have Timothy Liljegren and Vincent Desharnais as your guys on that right shot side. It's not a good blue line. Like, I'm not surprising anybody by saying that. Klingberg will be okay. I think he could actually contribute really well offensively and become a deadline acquisition by a certain team. Like, there are a couple of guys on this roster that San Jose could move off for even more assets. So I think they've just done a phenomenal job at doing so. And I think that they will be able to work something out if push comes to shove. But Klingberg there, not a bad third pairing guy for a bad team. Leddy will be interesting. He was with St. Louis last year. Thompson has been one of the guys that I've liked personally. One of the more younger players who has become a permanent player on the Sharks roster. He'll be exciting. Liljegren and Desharnais, more or less just depth defensemen, honestly. Nothing more important there. But yeah, I'm not rustling any feathers by saying this defensive core is not good. And I think everybody who says otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. This is not a good defensive core. It's going to be very weak. The only saving grace they may have is Ferraro, to be honest with you. And then you take a look at your goaltending for the Sharks. So you have Yaroslav Askarov, Alex Nedeljkovic, and Jacob Skarek as your 3 goalies. But shout out to Carey Price, who is their 4th string that will never play. Yeah, so that's something fun there that you can look at. But regardless, you have Askarov there, who I believe is going to be great this year. He had some pretty decent numbers with a bad Sharks team last year. There were so many games where the Sharks would just play so well, and it'd be like a 1-0 San Jose lead. It'd be either Askarov or even like Vitek Vanacek when he was with the Sharks. Like, they would just backstop San Jose, and then it would come down to the final minute. And this happened not only on a Watch of Nordic stream, but many other times in a stream. Like, I remember it happened against the Oilers. It happened against the Jets while I was streaming. They'll score a goal in the final minute to tie the game, and then it'll go to overtime, and the other team will win. It happened so many times last year. But regardless, Askarov, I think, will be great this year. Again, like, even though it's not a very good blue line in front of him, it's still exciting to see this player. Because even last year, like, his numbers statistically weren't, like, record-breaking or honestly, like, that great on paper. But you look at the team that he was playing on and how he played in a lot of those games. Like, he played some great hockey. And then Nedeljkovic was not that great with Pittsburgh. I don't really expect him to be that much better here with San Jose. And then Skarek is more or less your 3rd-string goalie. But regardless, that's your goaltending. I think Askarov will be relied on a lot this year to play games. It could be a tandem, though. I wouldn't be shocked if they decide, hey, let's put Nedeljkovic in there for 41 games and put Askarov in there for 41 games. I wouldn't be shocked at that either, but I think Askarov is clearly the better goaltender and will be the starter. So now on here to your biggest questions facing the San Jose Sharks, and the one that I'm looking at here is how will the young guys do? Because you look at this team, it's young. You have Eklund, Celebrini, Smith, highlighted there as your 3 younger players. Then you have a couple other guys there like Ostapchuk, you have Kurashev, you have Colin Graff, you have Jack Thompson on the back end, Askarov in net. And I have discussed them throughout the video here. I think overall the young players probably will take a step. Not all of them will, because that just doesn't happen in a year. If it does, they make the playoffs. But I feel like most of these guys will generally take a step in the right direction heading into this coming season. I just think Celebrini has that dynamic skill where he can go in there and have a very solid sophomore year. Will Smith, I think, will improve as well, as I said. And then Eklund, I think, is getting better and better as the years go along. He is into a new contract, so that should be good as well. And then again, I just mentioned Askarov and talked about how he will be great this year as well. So above all, like, again, I know I'm speaking very highly of the young players. It won't really impact where the team is next year, but it will be something that you can watch and actually be excited about with the Sharks for the first time in a pretty long time. So now it's time for the final question. Playoffs, standings, cup. Those are the things that we're asking ourselves here about the San Jose Sharks. So playoffs and cup are just laughable. That's not happening this year. I honestly hate to say it. I do have them finishing 31st, but I actually do kind of believe that they could finish 32nd again this year. Maybe they get like 2 or 3 more wins from last year. They had 1 win from 24-25 compared to 23-24. Regardless, I just don't see this team improving that much, but it's about development. It's about growth, seeing these young players perform, seeing these young players keep playing and developing. Even though they will be bad this year, there is a ton of pieces on almost every aspect of this team that you can look forward to. And I think that's something that Sharks fans should take away with this. You will get to go to SAP Center and be like, yeah, maybe they'll win. Maybe. And you'll be able to take a look at the future with Celebrini and Smith and Eklund. And I hope that when the Sharks are in town against my Flyers, maybe I can go and take a look at them and go see them play this year. But regardless, that is it for this season preview on the San Jose Sharks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video and subscribe down below if you are new. We got the Kraken up next. That'll be an interesting video for sure. But let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.